Hello, friends. Today I want to tell you a story that happened to me back in 2010. This isn't a scary ghost story or a thriller. It's a story about how an ordinary summer day can split your life into before and after, and about why I now look at simple things differently. I was 15 at the time. My parents and I went to the mountains in Kerala for a week. The place was incredible. Endless pine trees, a pristine lake with water the color of cold tea, and a complete feeling of being at the edge of the world. One day, my father and I decided to hike to a cliff called the Sleeping Giant. It was a local landmark, and the view from the top was said to be simply mesmerizing. The route wasn't difficult, the path was well trodden. We walked, talked about our own things. I laughed. My dad told stories from his youth. It was pure idle. The giant itself was a massive granite slab overhanging the lake. The slope leading up to it was gentle, but the drop-off was sharp and absolutely vertical. The height was at least 20 meters. We walked right up to the very edge. I remember the wind whipping through my hair and how the vastness took my breath away. I took a step forward to peer down at the rocks and dark water below, and in that moment, the ground gave way beneath my feet. Literally, a small section of the edge, covered in moss and heather, wasn't solid rock but just a thin ledge of dirt and roots. It couldn't support my weight. This wasn't a fall, it was a collapse. I didn't even have time to scream. I just felt a chilling terror and weightlessness. It all happened in a split second. But in that split second, something happened that to this day feels like a miracle. My hand, flailing instinctively, hit an old pine root sticking out from the cliff face. I gripped it. My other hand hung in the air. The full weight of my body was suspended from the grip of one palm. My legs no longer felt any support. They were dangling over the abyss. My breath wasn't taken by the beauty anymore, but by animal fear. My heart was pounding in my throat. I didn't scream. I couldn't make a sound. The whole world narrowed down to that root digging into my palm and the face of my father. He was 2 steps away from me. I will never forget his eyes. There was no panic in them, no scream. There was shock, instantly replaced by icy concentration. He didn't rush headlong toward me. That could have caused another collapse. Slowly, very slowly, he dropped to his knees and crawled toward me, distributing his weight. "Don't look down, look at me," he said. His voice was quiet, but so firm that it cut right through my fear. "Hold on, I'm going to get you now." He reached out his hand. The distance between his hand and my other, free hand was only about 30 centimeters, but it was a chasm. To grab it, I had to let go of the root, my only point of support in life. It was the most difficult choice I have ever made. To trust the instinct screaming "hold on," or to trust my father. I looked him in the eyes, and I let go of the root. The moment I began to fall, his fingers closed around my wrist. His grip was like steel. I felt every muscle in his arm tense. He didn't pull me up sharply. Still lying on his stomach, anchoring himself with his feet wherever he could, he slowly, centimeter by centimeter, began to pull me onto the cliff. When I was finally safe and we had crawled back to a secure distance, we just sat on the ground in silence for several minutes, breathing. I was trembling with fine, uncontrollable shakes. He put his hand on my shoulder, and it was trembling too. We never once discussed that story with my mom. We just said I had slipped. It remained a silent knowledge between my father and me. What did I take away from this? Not that you should be afraid of heights. Something entirely different. I understood how fragile everything is. One random second, one wrong step, and everything can turn upside down. We make plans, worry about nonsense, get angry over trifles, while our life can be hanging by some old root and the strength in the hands of the closest person. And I understood what real trust is. It's when you let go of your last support because you believe you will be caught. Thank you for listening to my story. Cherish every ordinary, calm day. Hug your loved ones. And please, be careful where it seems safe. Sometimes danger hides under the most beautiful moss. Until the next story.